Welcome back to Royal Fashion News. My name is Brittany and today I'm going over the best and worst looks of the week and discussing what I think of the royal ladies fashion. So I decided to do this video a little bit differently this week because we had a couple of big events, and so I feel like there were a lot of fashion looks between them, and all of them I feel like have been mostly really great or something I just want to talk about with them. So I thought we'd just try something a little bit differently. So guys, let me know what you think. All right, and number one, we're going to talk about Queen Letizia of Spain. So she was actually in Los Angeles this week, and she was opening up a new center, and she arrived in a bright red suit. And I love Letizia in a suit. I think that is her silhouette because she's a bit willowy, yet also petite. I feel like she wears suits incredibly well. I love this bright red suit. There's also a suit of Queen Maxima's that I love that's also red. So I was really excited to see this one. I think she looks great here. Although I will have to say the one I like more is her outfit during the actual day event. So she has a coat carefully draped over her shoulders like a cape. And I know some people hate this look. I just really love the look, but you have to do it well. And the coat has to actually lay that way and not be faking it. Megan always puts coats or blazers that are not supposed to be laying that way, and so the shoulder pads are up by her ears and it just looks dumb. So I do love this. I love the camel neutrals that she has here, and I love this white dress, which was actually handmade for her by the palace dresser. So this is not something you can get in store. It was fully constructed and made within the palace. But I do feel like, and she has a Carolina Herrera coat, but I feel like this look really works. And I will say I love the crisscross pumps. I think those are kind of fun because it adds an extra little bit of fun there to the dimension. All right, so next this week, obviously this last week has been the Nobel Prize. So we had the Nobel Peace Prize, which is awarded in Oslo, Norway. And then we have the Nobel Prizes for like science and literature and everything. And those are awarded in Sweden. So for the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, we have Crown Princess Mette-Marit of Norway, and she was rocking red for both of her appearances. So for the actual event itself, she wore this number, which I feel like is really lovely. It's just a coat dress. It's not anything too ostentatious, too over the top, but very simple and elegant. And I feel like that really works for this occasion. I feel like the red pops against her hair color really, really well. So I feel like this was definitely a fabulous look for her. But I will say I wasn't much of a fan of the dress that she wore for a dinner reception that was held a day later or later that evening. So it has a bit of this polka dot pattern to it. And while it is red, and I feel like that works pretty well with her, I don't think this dress is very flattering. I think the circles or the polka dots just don't really do much for her. I think polka dots can look very well because I love polka dots, but it can also be something that looks rather young, and I feel like that's what's happening here with the style of the dress, the polka dots and everything. I feel like it's a dress that would work perhaps better on a younger woman, maybe her daughter or something. I just don't feel like it really works here for her. And most of you agree, with 33% of you not liking this outfit. Okay, so on to the Nobel Prize ceremony in Stockholm. So number one we have is Crown Princess Victoria here. There's a part of me that likes this dress and a part of me that doesn't. So it's this bubblegum pink color, which I'm just not sure works with her coloring personally. And it's a satin. It's much like, it reminds me a lot of Catherine's dress she wore in the Bahamas, which I did think was really beautiful. But sometimes with this satin style fabric, it shows all imperfections. So you can see it almost looks wrinkled, the hem doesn't look that great. So it just shows every little detail that just doesn't look perfect. It really does show up here. I think the 6 buttons look great on her. So that's the 6-button tiara she's wearing. And I do like the light blue accent, especially, you have the sash. So that's the Order of the Seraphim and her family orders and stuff. I feel like that really comes together. The construction isn't bad. Like, I think the top of it looks great. I'm not a fan of it. I feel like her red look in several years ago, maybe 2015, 16, I feel like that was so dramatic and over the top. I was just like, wow. There's like a part of me that still doesn't totally love that dress, but the drama of it is excellent. And I feel like the cross necklace especially, it was just a surprise. I didn't realize they had something like that. So I feel like that look really worked, but I'm not a fan of this one. But I did love, they had a lunch with the king the next day, or a dinner. And so Victoria busted out this Elie Saab dress that she has had for a couple years now. She wore it to one Nobel Prize ceremony several years ago. And I feel like This green, the coloring works on her. I think the emeralds look lovely on her. And she really, again, does do gala looks very, very well. Her day-to-day outfits, whew, those could use some work. But the gala stuff, I feel like Victoria always pulls off. She always looks fabulous, and I feel like this is definitely the case here. And now on to Princess Sofia of Sweden. So she was wearing this light blue dress with flower appliques. Again, I'm just not really a fan of this. Sophia, she's been in the royal family since, I believe it was 2015. I haven't been a particular fan of her style. I don't find a lot of her things that I like, and I would put this in one of them. I just feel like the flower applique looks cheap. I don't know if it's a dress or what. It seems to flow really nicely, but the flower applique, I feel like the dress would have looked much better without it and much more perhaps expensive. But right now, I don't know why. It pulls down the look for me. It doesn't quite work for her. And she is wearing her wedding tiara, which she has now several stones she can change out for the top. So these are blue topaz. I originally reported they were aquamarines, but they are blue topaz. She also has turquoise, pearls, and emeralds. So she has quite the big collection for her tiara, and she wore the same tiara the next day. There's also a lot of questions on if she's lent other pieces in the Swedish collection. She definitely is, but she really does tend to stick with her wedding tiara, and thankfully they finally fixed it so it looks good on her. When she first got married, it like sat on her head super weird, and I'm like, oh, that's just terrible. But now they've managed to fit it, and I'm sure it's pretty light. And of course, she would be one of the last to get access to jewelry, because generally what happens is the blood royals, it goes in that order of hierarchy, and generally also the blood royals as well get their pick first. So she has changed out the aquamarines for pearls, and she's wearing this dress that I'd be like, this would be killer in August. It is December. Why are you wearing an orange ombre dress in December? If it was a darker color, I would be all over this look. I don't think the orange works. I think it's too summery. It looks like a light fabric. I would imagine it is cold in Sweden. Why she's wearing this, I do not know. I just don't think, and I'm not even sure orange works on here. I just really don't like this. And so yeah, it just doesn't seem to fit with the event at all. Okay, so next up, so moving beyond the Nobels, we have Queen Maxima. She wore a couple other things this week. I just decided to focus on this piece right here because I actually think she looks pretty good here. I like the red. I think it works with her. I love that she busted out the big ruby necklace. It's part of the Mellorio ruby tiara set that she has, and so I feel like that it's always stunning to see in somewhat of a relaxed atmosphere, major jewelry. And finally, somebody did her hair for her. Maxima, I love her, but she does her own hair for most of her engagements, which I admire. Victoria does that as well. But sometimes her day-to-day looks, because her hair is very thin and stuff, it just doesn't look its best oftentimes. So it's great when she can have somebody else do it for her. And I will totally admit, guys, being totally honest, my hair doesn't look great every day either. I would kill to have somebody do my hair every day. Now we move on to Princess Charlene. She wore a couple other things this week. Nothing just popped out as being all that memorable either way, but we were seeing a lot more of her, which was great. She was sick last year. But I have to say, I love this ombre number, the sequin ombre number. It moves from black to burgundy to dark red into silver. I just kind of love it. I just think it's super cool. And it's something, I don't always like her style, so I liked it that it was simple and she wasn't trying to go for something rather weird. So I just really liked this one. So this one was one of my favorites this week too. And then we also have, going back to Crown Princess Victoria, she received, so there is an event every year in Sweden where they receive some trees. And this year it was Victoria. Now usually they have the kids do it. Last year was Madeline and her children, Princess Madeline. I don't know if she's still in Florida this year or what, but she wasn't there to do this, and so it was Victoria and Daniel. But I am sad we didn't get Estelle or Oscar there. I think that would have been fabulous, but they were probably in school and they're like, they've done this before and they're getting older, so it's not necessarily worth it to pull them out. I get that. I don't mind Victoria's look here. Again, though, I feel like the fur jacket or whatever she has on makes her look boxy. That would be my only thing. Other than that, it's not a bad look. The red is festive. It works, so Bravo. And obviously we got to see Catherine a lot this week. So one of the first things we saw her in was before her Christmas service. So she was doing some prep work for it, and she re-wore one of my favorite dresses, which is a needle and thread dress. If you've never seen needle and thread, they do dresses that feature a lot of embroidery and sequins, and I am there for that. So I love their dresses. I did get one. It was an embroidered one. So, but I don't fit into it right now. I gotta work on that a bit, but it's really gorgeous. Their work is very intricate and incredible, and their prices are actually not bad. And I got mine on sale. They don't have a sale going on right now, but if you guys are interested in hearing about sales on some of these brands, I can definitely let you know, because I do scour for sales. I am a sales girl. I love it. If you have a sale, I am your faithful customer. Good sales. And so Catherine, I think this look is gorgeous. It's one of my favorites. It looks awesome. And then she also wore this wonderful Holland & Cooper sweater, which I think is just lovely. It's very festive. It's very wintry. And so she was doing, again, another prep video for the Christmas service. And then we also had a release of the Wales's Christmas card. This was obviously taken in the summer. Now, I will say I was very, very much hoping Catherine and the family would do an impromptu one for Christmas with the snow. I think that would have been awesome. I'm super bummed we're not going to get that, because it just, to me, I mean, it's a lovely family picture. It just seems a little odd because it is winter for them to show a picture of their family clearly taken this summer. That would be my only critique of this picture. And then I will also say, I feel like, I don't know, I'm just maybe totally not the fan of the jeans. Yeah, but she looks great. I do like the shirt, so she looks absolutely fabulous. And I think that work, again, is really great. All right, on to this Together at Christmas concert special that will air next week on Christmas Eve. And so we had so many royals in attendance here, and your picks for the best and worst dress of this week. So these were your votes of what you decided were the best and worst looks. Were actually both from this event. So number one, we have over here, we have Princess Beatrice in this checked number. This is from Temperley, London, and I think it's pretty. I like it. I like that it's unique. I feel like the York girls definitely do lean more towards the unique look. But for me, this looks very summer or spring. It doesn't really scream winter, especially snow winter. It just looks a little light. I mean, it could be totally warm underneath, I'm not sure. But it just doesn't seem the right season for this. And you'll notice me, I'm a bit picky about that, but hey, it's sometimes too, it's like you want to see somebody in like a really nice winter thing, because I do like winter fashion. I don't want to be in the snow though. That's so kind of funny that way. And so then we also have Lady Frederick Windsor. Her name is Sophie. And she has this gray number on, which I feel like looks pretty good here. I think the hat was a little much. I think she could have done much better without that fur hat that she has on, but maybe she was really, really cold. The invitation did say no hat, so she was a bit unique in having one, but it just seems like it was just a touch too much for the look. But I think the gray is simple, clean, elegant. It really works. Okay, now Catherine and Burgundy, as also was her family. So her sister Pippa wore burgundy, and also Zara Phillips. So I feel like Catherine, this burgundy piece here, it really works. I love that she has a uniform that's just a solid color generally. It would be fun if she experimented more, but I also see how this is simple and elegant. It's like, okay, I'm wearing burgundy, where are my burgundy pumps? I'm wearing green, where are my green pumps? I do appreciate that. I'm all for matchy-matchy. I'll be totally honest. So I did really like this look. I thought she looked lovely. I thought the color was great on her. She is definitely more of a winter on the color palette. So I feel like that was a huge win for her. Okay, guys. And so now for your pick for the worst look of the week. And I really honestly do think I have to agree here. I think this is probably one of the worst, although I would say I still don't like Sophie's look either, because it's just not weather appropriate. But I have to go with Eugenie here. This jacket is ugly. There's just no getting around it. No getting around it. The outfit is ugly. The fringe at the bottom, it literally looks like a throw blanket that she threw on, or a throw blanket they turned into a coat. And I'm not feeling it. I think it's I guess muted colors, so it's not bad, but it just really seems like she ran out of coats, and so she had to abruptly make one of her throw blankets into a coat, and it's not even one she likes very well. So it's just, or maybe even like curtains or something with the tassels. Anyways, this just all sorts of no. And I know somebody asked, and I would not be necessarily surprised, but she could be expecting. And I will say though, if that is the case, always better to go with solid colors if you're trying to make yourself look slimmer. Patterns like this just make you look bigger. So if she's not, then that definitely was not the best coat to have, because again, it just adds volume and you don't want that. So these are your 2 picks for the best dress looks of the week, and they might shock you. Obviously, Catherine's were up in the 90s and everything, so they were quite high. We actually had several that were 95%, but these 2 were at 96, so they edged them out. So one is Zara Phillips in this burgundy coat and number. I thought she looked absolutely fabulous. She just came back from Australia. She probably has a bit of a tan, and I just feel like it's just lovely, and I think it really does work. And I love how the 3 ladies coordinated together. So Zara, Pippa, and Catherine in the black. Again, it just works. It's a simple silhouette, and it's just really lovely. And I will say though, between the 2 ladies, I feel like Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, was really the one who brought it, because this is white, so it's a bit of a surprise, yet it's interesting. It's got texture. You have the darker brown boots and the white, the cream coat. There's just something about it I feel like just really works for her. It looks absolutely fabulous. One of my favorite looks of the week. I do have to give it to her, because this was a bit of a surprise, and she looks gorgeous, guys. For being the age that she is, she looks absolutely fabulous. And I will have to say, for me, for my best dressed look of the week, I think, I'll have to give it to Catherine in the needle and thread. I debated this, and then I'm like, I don't know. But I do love Catherine's in that needle and thread. It's one of my favorite dresses. I hope she gets more needle and thread, because again, one of my favorites. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think were the best and worst looks of the week. If you want to participate in the voting, I'll have a link to my Instagram down below. So guys, again, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.